Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Garcia. I'm the president of the DeFi Angels here. And tonight for our AMA, we have the Web3 NFT Gallery. So, this is an interesting project that came across the Angels as they have a very innovative business plan for how to not only present NFTs for mass adoption and for education, but also kind of allowing individuals to really integrate and bear down on this community engagement. So with that being said, I would love for the Web3 NFT gallery team to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about them, and then we can go into the project.
Yeah, so there's just to clarify a little bit. One, we've got two different names. So anybody in our community that's joined this AMA, we've been operating under the name This Is Not a Rug. That's the NFT project, and then we've got kind of a separate but connected entity that we're calling WEB3 NYC Gallery. And so those are the two names. So if you jumped in and you heard Web3 gallery and didn't know why you were in this AMA, I just wanted to let you guys know. For anybody who's here that's not from our community, this is our first announcement of our utility, which also rolls out kind of a slight rebrand and the name of our like the company that will be taking over the gallery. And so we'll obviously dive into that. But my name's Corey. I'm one of the project leaders on This Is Not a Rug and the Web3 NYC Gallery. I've been in this space since 2013. I've assisted multiple projects on marketing to setting up their token. I mean, in so many different ways. I've just been involved in several different NFT and cryptocurrency projects. I've got a business outside of this, real estate. Everybody on our team is pretty successful, both within cryptocurrency and outside of cryptocurrency. And so anyway, I don't want to take up too much more time talking about myself. I want to dig into.
I'll jump in. I'll jump in, Corey. Yeah. Is this working here? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Corey?
Can hear you great.
Yeah.
Good, just making sure. So my name is Nick Rotola. I come from traditional business. Corey brought me in to a little project called Floki late summer last year. And that was kind of a crash course in cryptocurrency marketing and networking. And so we just became really close and decided to kind of build a team and had some ideas on some really cool things. And so that's kind of my introduction into cryptocurrency was riding a $30 million token all the way to $3.5 billion. And so we've kind of been a part of that 100X before, and we were looking for kind of the next 100X kind of concept and idea. And we started this company, and we built really what's in my opinion, one of the most impressive teams that I've seen so far in the space. And then we've got a really cool idea. So I'm really kind of a small part of the team. They do kind of call me the leader, but the strength of this team, this project is in the team. And then really just the IP and our ability to capture that IP and protect it, and then give that value to the holders. And just to be clear, there are few different ways you could market in cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Our strategy is the utility first strategy. That utility is set, and this is an official announcement of it, and the utility absolutely sells itself. So it won't be as gimmicky. I think when we do large pushes, it's going to be more targeted, and it's just going to be to get the messaging out because the project's just really exciting. So this is a great team. My introduction is that I'm a traditional business guy. I've exited businesses before, and I've built apps and real estate business. I had a sports company that I'm still running. We have a real estate company that's done well. So, but really, we've kind of shifted focus almost 100% to Web3. So we're kind of automating those other businesses, and we're focusing on what's really important, or not what's really important. What's opportunity? We're focusing on the highest opportunity, which is Web3, and we got a really cool project, and we'd love to hang out with you guys, chat. We want this to be, as collaborative as possible. But that's kind of my story. I'm gonna kind of turn it over to Salim next. He's on here. Can we make him a speaker? Perfect. If you can make him a speaker, Michael, it'd be great. So Salim is our Chief Technology Officer. He's one of the most impressive developers in all of cryptocurrency. He's the guy that projects call when their project's screwed up and they need something fixed, or if they need something very complicated on the blockchain, either architectured out or actually built. So he's managed teams. He's been the engine behind teams. And he's just got a really impressive resume. So it's always fun to hear him talk. So go ahead, Salim. Michael, if you could.
Yeah, Salim is unmuted. They just gotta click the button and speak.
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, thank you for that introduction, Nick. I like Nick said, I've been into the regular corporate development, software development world for maybe 15 years now, so I have all that experience behind me. My last job was a senior solutions architect at a Fortune 100 company here. But I've been into crypto since 2014, and I recently shifted my focus to Web3 and NFTs. I'm the creator of Cyber Babies and Cyber Dad. Both are NFTs that give you access to the software that I wrote that is actually just tools to let you buy and sell NFTs more accurately and more quickly than what all the marketplaces let you. I think Cyber Babies was also the first NFT that gave you the utility to access the software. That was back in July. So we innovated that. Cyber Babies and both Cyber Dad are still actively being developed and active communities. But I'm trying to focus my talents and my development time more on innovation now and what Web3 NYC Gallery is setting out to do with This Is Not a Rug NFT is really impressive, and so that's what I really want to focus on, the tech behind it. There's a lot of it, and it's very impressive stuff. So excited to share all that with you guys and talk about
it. Cheers. Definitely grateful to have you and the team here. So you mentioned earlier to the community, there's two projects here that are fusing together. This Is Not a Rug and that Web3 NYC Gallery. For those of us that don't know what This Is Not a Rug is, why don't you tell us a little bit about This Is Not a Rug before we get into the gallery?
Yeah, absolutely. So This Is Not a Rug was started about 2 or so months ago. It was initially started kind of as a fun project to educate people in cryptocurrency. That was kind of our main focus. So we put together a pretty solid community of individuals who came in, and we just worked through a bunch of different things, like how to spot a scam, what to look out for to make sure that you're not scammed in cryptocurrency, like how to find the right projects, the projects that how to research projects to figure out what you should invest in or put your money in. And so that's kind of what This Is Not a Rug started as. We initially started off, and it's a little bit interesting that we're kind of backing our way into kind of the announcement, but it started out as a 10,000 NFT collection. That was a little bit, it was based on a meme. That's the whole idea of the name This Is Not a Rug. So me coming from marketing Floki, I kind of took some of those concepts with marketing memes, and that's where we kind of came up with the name This Is Not a Rug. The original concept were And we've taken a lot of that, but I'm really excited to show some of the new NFTs that we have. We took famous pieces of art, again, public domain pieces of art that we could use, and we basically just transposed rugs into them. And so it was a fun thing. The Mona Lisa, but instead of her head, we had rugs coming out of it. So that was the beginning of this project. It's molded because of the inception of the Web3 NYC Gallery, and we can definitely get into that and how This Is Not a Rug has kind of transitioned to fusing with that company.
I love it. I think it's clever using famous artwork and throwing a rug on top. I mean, how many people love to talk about the rug pull experiences they've had? So to actually have an NFT that you have, a sense of ownership of that is a rug at the same time, it's almost comical, right? It becomes irony at that point.
Absolutely. No, I mean, that was the whole idea, kind of a tongue-in-cheek deal where we were kind of poking fun at kind of our rug experiences. And so it was a fun opportunity to talk with our community, talk through some of those rug pulls. Like, we've done AMAs with other successful other projects that have been rug pulled and taken over by their community, and everybody has those stories. So it definitely was a great start to a very solid community for sure.
So since the inception of This Is Not a Rug, how did you bring your community together? How big is your community?
So we've got over 3,000 Discord. We've got about 11,000 on Twitter. So we've got a significant more amount on Twitter that follow us there, that I think are just interested in the project and seeing updates. We've got about 3,000 on our Discord. And then we've got within that just a very strong group of kind of core members that have been a part of the project from the very beginning, and have been very loyal. So it kind of reminds me a lot of DeFi Angels, sitting in your guys' Telegram group, just seeing that core kind of group of people that tend to jump in and talk through things on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm really excited to interact with your community in the future. I know that from our conversations, you were saying that the Discord is kind of a little bit on hold for, like, I don't know, would you say it's kind of like safety reasons to avoid any sort of hacks or anything like that? Trying to control the crowd for now.
Yeah, I mean, we put it on pause. The idea basically was that we knew about a little over a month ago that we were taking this pivot, and so we decided to put the Discord on pause briefly, and basically by Discord on pause, just not letting new members in for a little while, and then put all marketing on pause for about a month there, just to wait until we were able to start talking about this utility. I think that Web3 got kicked out, and so
yeah, I'm back in here. Yeah, just to kind of piggyback on the Discord. Can you hear me, Corey? Am I good here? Because my service is a little spotty. Can you hear me, Corey?
I can't.
All right, awesome. Yeah, just with regards to Discord, honestly, just to be completely straightforward with you, Michael, we were just sick and tired of saying, "Hey, something's coming," and we just looked at each other and said, "Let's come back when we've got something," and it's so unbelievable that we don't have to sell it; it just sells itself. So that's where we're at. We have been absolutely getting after it, putting this utility together. I'd love to get into it. I don't know how much we talked about it so far. I had to hop off, take a call from one of the owners of one of the buildings we're looking at, but yeah, I'd love to jump into the utility. That really explains this project, explains why it's valuable, and just explains to why these listeners why it's a big deal to be on this call today. So if we could hop on as soon as possible.
Yeah, let's actually go ahead and roll into it. That was going to be my next question is, so we've got this is not a rug. We've been here in Web3 NYC Gallery. You know, what's the utility? What's the use case? Kind of walk us through that and let's hammer it out.
Sure. So Corey, I'll start and you kind of fill in the gaps if that's all right. So when you buy one of our NFTs, you're going to buy ownership in a frame, and that frame is going to be in New York City. We're finalizing the location. We just made a video today touring about 7 of the spots. We're in kind of hard negotiation phase, but we're looking at, let's just call it some of the most premier real estate in the world. Premium kind of New York real estate. What you'll own when you own one of our NFTs is you're going to own a frame on that wall, and you could do with that frame what you please. So it's sort of the same benefits you would get making a crazy move and opening up a Times Square shop, but you don't have to worry about any of that. The community as a whole is strong enough to run and manage it. You just do your part, which is to buy an NFT. You can display your other NFTs to the general public. There are more people through this real estate and these dense of an areas in New York City. So this particular real estate we're deciding between, there are more people through this retail in 2 weeks than the entire NFT market combined. So if you just think about how interesting that could be if we perfect the onboarding process. So what we've been working on is how to take someone walking in to a very premium, and we have letter of intents, and we're very, very close to finalizing this space, but we're close enough where we're going to announce it and close the deal. And by the way, they're selling to us, not the other way around. They want this in their location. But people are going to walk in. We're going to hold their hand through the whole process: how to set up an account, how to fund Ethereum, processes to help them turn fiat into Ethereum, to help them buy their first NFT. And we're not just referring them to any NFTs. We're referring them to your screens and to other exhibits that we're going to allow to be featured in the gallery. So basically, we have about 75 linear feet designated for your NFTs. The rest of the gallery would be split up into little bits and pieces and would be sort of a little bit less lackluster, but would be for other projects to be featured. So your NFT will get you ownership for your frame, and you could do with your frame what you please. There will be a QR code on your frame that will allow people to purchase other NFTs that you display in gallery. So let that set in for a second. You buy one of our NFTs, you go and buy another NFT, and you list it for sale in New York City in what we're going to call by far the most premium gallery in the world for NFTs. We have traffic coming in. We're holding their hand through the education process, setting up their accounts, buying their first NFT, and we are literally steering them right to you. So imagine if eBay only had 300 sellers. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about positioning and being in early. And this is only possible because of the power of cryptocurrency and rallying around things together and community. This kind of space has been reserved for the 1% type corporations in the world. Not only the 1%, but their corporations. Now, because of the power of Web3 cryptocurrency, we can allow you to take ownership, take pride, basically, and have access through your frame to this gallery. So we're shrinking supply all the way to 300. We are launching 300 NFTs. So think about sort of how crazy this is. And just know that everybody we have talked to about this, that we have kind of leaked the information, talked to you about it, is all in. So it's an obvious one for everybody. We got details on the website. We just relaunched the website. Our old URL is redirecting to the new one. Check out the hype video. We've got another hype video supposed to be coming out tomorrow, a tour of the spaces, so you can see the kind of real estate that we're dealing with and looking at. And then obviously there's going to be a lot of Q&A of what that all entails. But just know that you're going to have access to events. We got very good positioning for NFT NYC week. If you're familiar with that, there were 700,000 NFTs changed hands last year in that single week. Okay. There are a lot of transactions in this premier locations during certain times of year and throughout the year. And it is a perfect positioning. It's a perfect time, and the market's ready for it. And I'm telling you, these people, there's about 150,000 people a day on average that kind of walk through some of this in these areas. These people know what NFTs are. They know they need to get into it. They just need someone to hold their hand. And so that's the business model that we're betting on, is that if we can onboard people by the masses, the industry is going to grow around you. And you, if you can be one of the 300, are positioned right there to take advantage of it.
So is the 300, are these 300 NFTs really meant for individuals who are essentially already onboarded and familiar with the NFT process and the markets and the volatility, and our newer consumers, are those individuals the ones that you're targeting in terms of bringing revenue in, or are you looking to onboard new investors through possibly purchasing This Is Not a Rug? Kind of walk me through the target demographic specific to This Is Not a Rug, because it sounds like the gallery is for the newer, the fresher blood to come on in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can basically, I'll just boil it down to a couple of points. First, we've got This Is Not a Rug that is dropping 300 NFTs. We've got three different clubs within that, or three different clubs within those 300 NFTs. And you can see all of that on the website. I think that Michael linked the website below. But those three clubs range from super entry level, the collectors club, that are going to be a little bit cheaper in price. Basically, you're going to get a smaller frame, roughly around 10 inches, 10 inches digital frame. And basically what your NFT, the Genesis collection that we're dropping, what your NFT does is it allows you to showcase any NFT that you own. So not just the This Is Not a Rug NFT. I'm talking if you have a Bored Ape Yacht Club that's worth $300,000 to $1 million, whatever, you can showcase that NFT in our premium gallery in New York City gallery. I'm not going to disclose too much, but we're looking at we're looking at places in the top retail areas in the world, including Times Square, Fifth Avenue, and then a Billionaire's Row. So several different locations that again, like the most premium retail in arguably the world.
Right.
We've got the Alpha Club. We've then the other two clubs that we have, and I just wanted to briefly talk about that, are geared a little bit more to the more sophisticated. Sophisticated is probably not the right word. We're talking about project owners, marketers, and then individuals, if that's what they choose to do, NFTs that not only are larger in size, the frames that you would get to showcase your NFTs. These are also NFTs that come with benefits with them, including percentages off. So the DGen Club is 20% off of all marketing in the space. And so we're going to have access to large LED screens, billboards, the whole 9 yards, essentially, to market cryptocurrencies and NFT projects. And so that will give you 20% off. The Alpha Club gives you 50% off. The Alpha Club comes with additional perks as well. I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details. You can definitely go to the website and review all of those perks that you get. But to summarize kind of the answer to your question is that these 300 NFTs are really meant for individuals who are familiar with the NFT space, because again, you're showcasing NFTs that you own. The gallery itself is going to be kind of like you explained, is the onboarding process of individuals who have not necessarily been involved in NFTs or purchased NFTs. They may have heard it from coworkers or individuals that they know, friends, family, or whatever, but they've never actually purchased an NFT. And so the gallery itself will have showcasings of these 300 frames, the NFTs of our holders. We're also going to have individual exhibits that are going to be monthly rotating, paid for by projects that want to be showcased there in the gallery, underrepresented artists, multiple different projects there in that space. And so our people there that we've got letters of intent with as well for employment are going to be going through and basically walking them through every single step as soon as they walk in. Like, this is what a MetaMask wallet is. This is how you fund it with Ethereum. This is how you purchase an NFT. And so again, this is almost essentially our plan here is to onboard people who otherwise would not have purchased an NFT, except for being in New York, being ready to purchase, and walking into our gallery.
Yeah, and let me piggyback on that, Corey. I think it's interesting, and as we start to talk about this, and I think an AMA is cool about this, we've got a website coming out, and I think we're going to do a deck on the site shortly to go in even deeper detail. Won't be on there tonight, but will be shortly. But the process, so you list your NFTs that you want to display or sell. And when you don't have one kind of queued up, it would revert to your "this is not a rug" NFT. There is a market for people in gallery to purchase your NFT. It's very simple. It's, how do I get on that wall? How do I get in on this? How do I get one of those frames? How does this work? So we think there's absolutely a market for people buying your "this is not a rug" NFTs, or the idea of being able to get in on this action. But for right now, it's pretty simple. When you are looking for an investment, you try to find something where people are going to be. You don't go right in San Diego, I'm in San Francisco, and expect to make money. You go in the suburb where you think people are moving next, and you position yourself and you buy the land and you buy some houses. That's what the smart guys do. They get in before the other people. What I'm telling you is, we only have 25 people on this call, which is hilarious with this utility. And what I'm saying is, show me another project in NFTs that has more utility than this one. Doesn't exist. So it kind of speaks for itself. You own a piece of potentially Times Square, potentially Empire State Building, potentially Fifth Avenue. Whatever it is, it's going to be what's best for the project and what's best for you. And it's really not possible, any of us alone. And it's possible with all of us together. So the question is, do you want to keep checking the box for the rest of your life, or do you want to be a part of changing the world?
And I think that's one of the most interesting things about crypto in general, right? We all are here super early for NFTs and crypto, and now it's really getting the opportunity to kind of be ahead of that next wave of what's about to come by what you guys are creating and showcasing. And I think that the reach that this AMA is going to have is going to far beyond exceed any expectations for the types of individuals that this is going to capture. I mean, the relationships that we have, I think that they're going to be very interested when this is all wrapped up to listen to what's being created by you guys. So I'm very curious as to what I heard about your DGen Club and your Alpha Club. People are getting discounts off of advertisements. It's almost like you're giving them, the community and your NFT holders, the opportunity to really own their own marketing brand in a way, is what it sounds like.
Exactly. And there's even going to be additional marketing benefits available as an add-on, like your Twitter website or whatever you'd like to add next to your frame. That'll be an add-on. But yeah, it's good to talk about this thing. Let me just fly into some of the benefits of these clubs. Corey introduced them, and then you piece the puzzle together yourself what you would do with it. But the sky's the limit. This is certainly staying true to our wanting people to be able to be entrepreneurs within the project, and for people to create passive income and all those things that people are looking for, but they don't know how. Let's talk about that. So the very base is the Collectors Club. Okay, this is this NFT is designed for. I mean, it's going to be a little on the higher end, but it's designed for the individual. And you got to think about, what does the individual want? Well, they want to make money, obviously. So that's where the volume of selling your other NFTs comes in. They also want prestige, access to events. They're going to have a kind of third tier access to events. They're going to get in to some of the coolest, most cutting edge networking, NFT, crypto kind of events. It's just going to be very, very helpful for them as individuals to get connected. Because I'll tell you, that's what you need to be doing. Other than finding great projects, is building a great network within crypto and people you can go to that you can trust, and a good support system. So they have a dedicated chat. There's 160 of those frames. And sort of the vision behind this is variable pricing. And variable pricing means there's a product for everyone on this call. And that's just really a cool thing about something this big. It's like, oh yeah, Bored Ape, that's great. They're on yachts. You got to have 300 grand to get in. Great. Okay. How does that affect me? This is okay. You got a smaller budget. Let's work with that. Let's figure out what benefits you get and what makes sense. If you're a medium guy, or if you're let's say a marketing group, or a guy with some influence, or somebody that wants to have a bigger frame, bigger influence within the space, bigger access to benefits, you want 20% off, a possibility of exhibits, advertising, things like that. DJ Club would be perfect for you. It's in that middle range out of our pricing structure. It's again, like Michael said, it's 20% off advertising. So if you know anyone that wants to get in on this thing, you could bring them in for 20% off. If you want to bring them in for 10% off, keep 10%. That's your prerogative. That's where the entrepreneur step comes in, is the ability to sort of take advantage of your benefits for other people. And then of course it's sales. The DGen frames are going to be about double the size of the collector's frame. They're going to be in a section that's about double the size as the collector's section. So you can kind of think through the spacing and kind of the prestige of those. But again, you're talking about that collector's, or that DGen club, for example, that's taking about 32 linear feet in the most premium retail in the world. Like, just think about that for a second. These are walls that people pay a lot of money to have products on, and it will be your product, not some big corporation. It's going to be you. You're going to have control of that product. You're going to be able to do with your frame what you want. And then there's the Alpha Club. Alpha Club gets some big time perks. There's an Alpha Lounge, special, wallet access only. You have to have the NFT. Special lounge, incredible, obviously, networking group. But this is for the higher end guys. The guys that want they want to access the advertising benefits. They have connections with people doing their own NFT launches and all those kind of things. They'd be able to help those people get in. And again, these alpha guys are getting 50% off. So if they want to give somebody 25% off of something and make the 25% cut, or if there's only 30 of those frames and they take up about the same size width as the collector's club with 160 frames. So you could just think about the size difference. So really large frames, prime location in the actual gallery, extra benefits. But again, it's important to have something that's good for everybody. But I'll tell you, we haven't had a conversation so far, and we haven't had very many of them. I mean, we've been on all full-time utility mode, but we have not had a conversation so far where the words didn't come out of their mouth. This is the most bullish thing I've ever seen in crypto. So again, we like the product. We're really proud of what we built. We're not really worried about any kind of competition because we know how many months it takes to do things like this, and the kind of resume you have to have, and the actual credit backing from the group that you have to prove. So we like where we're at. We've got a huge head start on anybody else in the world that wants to try to do something this big. And let me tell you, it's not just one gallery. That's just the beginning. And as we grow and add galleries, we've had very bullish phone calls in Europe, in Canada. I'll just say on the West Coast. Future galleries are coming. This is the Genesis collection. If you like this, I would say if you have a good gut feeling about it, there's going to be a lot of growth with this group. Again, happy to answer any questions about the utility, but we're not here to sell anybody. We just want to talk about what this product is going to give you.
Yeah, it sounds like, really allowing not only like your high rollers, but also someone somewhere in the middle to be able to really maximize the potential for revenue streams. That's kind of the name of the game, right? But regardless of the style of business or the sector you're in, a lot of it is what revenue streams you have and how many and how efficient are they. And it sounds like you guys are putting yourselves and your holders in a position to really maximize their revenue streams. So I'm curious, the access to these frames, let's say someone buys, they purchase a frame, does that come with your This Is Not a Rug NFT? How does that tie in with the frames in the gallery?
So when you buy a This Is Not a Rug NFT, it comes with the frame, not the other way around. And they're one and the same. They're attached. So if you were to sell the This Is Not a Rug NFT that corresponds with that frame and NFT would transfer to the owner. So the frame and the NFT are linked. The ownership, that's sort of up to you. But those frames are always going to be linked. So when you actually are allowed to purchase, you're actually going to be able to purchase not only the club you're in, but the location on the wall. So similarly to buying a ticket for a Lakers game or Knicks game or whatever, it's a sort of a similar interface to that, which will be, and I can let Salim talk a little bit more to the tech behind it.
Right. Yeah. So it's literally, like you said, a link between the NFT that you're purchasing. So we have 300 of them, but each of them will precisely link to a frame on a wall, and we'll have an interface that lets you know, hey, this NFT token number 58 is the frame row R number 18, right? And so you'll have a display. When I'm buying this NFT, I get the right to display anything I want on this frame in this gallery. And so, of course, that involves a web interface where people can prove their ownership of the NFT and then put all their information that they want to display on that frame. And it's all instant on the back end. So there's no human interaction. You don't have to send an email to someone or wait for someone to change your frame. These frames will all be connected, and it will all be through a web interface where owners of This Is Not a Rug NFT can just log in, prove ownership, and then change whatever's displayed, and we'll have that 24-hour stream that actually shows them, live stream that shows, hey, I just switched the NFT that I want displayed on my frame. I can actually go on the live stream and verify that that frame is not displaying what I am telling it to.
Okay, that I'm smelling what you're stepping in. That's really innovative in the way that you're able to create immediate access for these NFT holders. And I see kind of how the frame would switch hands. Say someone decided for some whatever reason decided to sell their This Is Not a Rug NFT. I see how the frame and it are connected. How
right.
I know that Salim, you're more of the coder, so I guess I'll leave the question for some of our devs in here in terms of how the frame and the NFT are linked together that way. I'm not a coder, so like I said, I'll leave that question kind of more so for them. However,
and
go ahead.
Michael, some of that is proprietary, so Salim will only be able to disclose so much. But
of course, naturally. So
I'll say this: the contract for the NFT will be a standard contract, and we'll build everything on top. But you won't have to send a transaction to the blockchain to change the NFT, right? This will all be done through cryptographically verifying your ownership, which is all, which we are able to do because of the blockchain. But we don't actually have to send transactions on the blockchain to do all of this, right? So that's the beauty of it. And like you said, people have sold digital real estate for NFTs. That's been big, with network and all those land sales. This is actually real estate that you buy with this NFT. You're buying the ownership of this frame and whatever is displayed on it. So that's one step even further than that digital real estate that has been so hot in the market right now.
okay, all right. So I like that a lot. So for what you guys are creating, you've got these two functions, these two entities that are merging together. They're working synergistically. So it sounds as though there is a business function behind it. Walk me through are you guys LLC'd? Is each of them LLC'd? Where are you based out of? And what was the motivation behind that, if that is a thing?
Corey, do you want to take that one? And regarding the business structure, and just to give you a quick warning, Michael, I know you're kind of steering the conversation here. We just confirmed at 9 o'clock. We're here in Times Square. We gotta jump at about 9 o'clock and jump on a meeting here in person with somebody, a tenant, but a landlord, but.
Yeah, I guess that just really briefly to answer that question, and then I'm trying to type out the answer to Michael's question there in chat. I'm not sure if he's actually here in the voice chat. But as far as the LLCs, there are a couple of different things that went into that decision on where we incorporated and how we set up those entities. And so I won't bore you with all the legal details, but super generally, this is not a rug entity, is the owner of the NFTs. And so that entity itself has ownership of the 300 NFTs that we'll be minting. That's the one that will transact with anybody who decides to mint one of our 300 NFTs. It's purely connected to the NFT project. Then we've got a separate company that's set up for the gallery itself. And the gallery is an ongoing gallery. It's like any other gallery in the world almost, except for it's NFT based. And so it's going to be handling the day-to-day operations of the company, employing everybody that we need there, including a manager, sales representatives, gallery assistants, things like that. It's going to be the ones that handles all the advertising there in the space. It's just a separate entity that handles all the day-to-day stuff and the big picture stuff for the gallery itself. And that kind of ties in a little bit with Michael's question. I'll type it out just so that it's in writing. Just to clarify, the entry-level NFT, the Collectors Club NFT, you have the right to advertise insofar as you get a frame. And so in that frame, you can either showcase one of the NFTs that you own, or you can showcase a logo for an NFT or crypto related company. So those are the two options or advertisement related to that company. So those are the two options that you have in that frame. The Alpha and the DGen Club NFTs get you discounts to the additional advertising that we have there in the space. And so I won't get into all of those details, but basically we're going to have individual exhibits there in the space that people will pay for to showcase their projects. So I'm just going to use the low-hanging fruit. Bored Ape Yacht Club comes in, says that they want to be showcased in this space. They can purchase by the month a separate exhibit there within the gallery of 5, 6, 7 frames that are separate from those 300 frames to showcase some of their NFTs. On that, it'll have a title of their project. There will be a QR code that'll link to their OpenSea collection so that individuals can purchase directly there from the store. And it'll be a separate exhibit. We'll have LED screens that are kind of secondary. Think something like Dex tools, where the primary focus is obviously the NFTs and the space, but we'll have advertisements going on there in that space for different NFT and cryptocurrency projects that have paid that month to advertise there in that space. So, I mean, again, really, if you've been to New York, almost any retail spot that sells like a department store or something like that has advertisements in their space showing the different things that they have going on in their space. And so that's a similar type thing that would be a paid thing, and you would get those discounts if you're a DGen or Alpha Club holder to access that.
Right.
Billboard space as well, same exact thing. So the Collectors Club obviously has access to that, just like anybody who doesn't own the NFT has access to promote in our space. Obviously, we're going to go through a due diligence process to make sure that we're not promoting scams or projects that we don't believe in. But everybody would have that opportunity, whether you're a Collectors Club or not an NFT holder. It's the DGen and the Alpha Club holders that would get discounts to those advertisements, including the exhibits that I was talking about.
That's okay. Okay. So I really like the idea of having these highlighted collections and providing the opportunity for not only your holders to benefit, but also these communities to benefit. And it's very symbiotic in a lot of different ways that enable your holders to intermingle with, like you said, the low-hanging fruit Bored Ape Yacht Club holders. You know, there's this opportunity to kind of create that clout for yourself. So I think that that's an interesting route that you guys chose to take. I know you said you have to hop off here shortly, so I'm going to open up the floor in case anyone has a question or two, because I know your time is pressed and there's about 7 minutes before you guys said you had to hop off.
Thank you, Michael.
Hey
So
guys,
what-
I just wanted to ask. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to ask. So the whole business model for this, I was kind of under the impression that you were starting a gallery in which people could pay to come in and kind of observe the different NFTs that are available to be displayed. But is the whole point of this business model just selling to NFT owners to kind of rent out the gallery just for advertisement purposes?
Not exactly. So this is a retail space. That's what we're building, is a retail space. Again, in the most premium area retail location in arguably the world. And so the concept of the gallery is not like a museum in that you pay an entry fee to come in and take a look at a bunch of different pieces of artwork. Instead, at least the current business model is that individuals would be able to access the gallery for free. Anybody who comes in would be able to get in there for free, just like any other retail space. And then when they're in there, they have the ability to purchase any of the NFTs that are displayed on the frames that are available for purchase. So again, the exhibits, they would have a QR code that would link to the OpenSea collection for those NFT collections that they would be able to purchase from. And then all of the individual frames that we have for the 300 NFT holders would have QR codes on theirs as well. And then those frame owners would have the ability to choose whether they want to sell those NFTs or just showcase them. If they're selling them, then they would also be there for sale to be purchased by any of these individuals that are there in the space to purchase them. Obviously, just like any other retail spot, people can come in, they can not purchase, they could just look around. And just like any other retail spot as well, there's value in that foot traffic for advertisement space. So really to answer your question, it's multi-tiered in the sense that both retail, there will be revenue coming in from that for us, for the individual frames. But then on top of that, the promotions that will be going on there in the gallery.
Justin, did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. Thanks. I just need a little clarification because I understood it differently. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Justin. Michael, if we're in between questions, I'll just let you know the kind of call to action here. Follow that link to our website. There is a pre-registration form or a waitlist form. Get on there, fill that out. If you have interest in this thing, we only have 300 frames. They're going to go really, really fast. Corey and I come from the cryptocurrency space. We like the idea of the value of getting in early. And we've always kind of prioritized that in this group or with this project is like, how can we reward people for being OGs? So get in there, fill out that waitlist form. I think the really short supply adds a lot of value to people on these kind of first calls, but word's going to get out really quick. We haven't even really started any marketing yet. So, and we've got a really cool utility. So I'd encourage you to get on there, fill out the waitlist form tonight. What is it? 7 streams of income, Michael? Is that what you're kind of referring to earlier?
Yes,
average millionaire. So I mean, this is a tool. This is a tool for you to answer Justin's question. This is a tool. Do with it what you want. Do you want to just tell all your friends that you've got your NFTs up in times, in the premium real estate, wherever that may be? Great. If you want to run a business where you're buying and selling NFTs, you're buying them, you're buying value NFTs and selling them at a premium because it's premium real estate, and that's what people do. They sell things for more than they cost because it's New York. People are ready to spend money. Let me tell you this stat. All Visa transactions in New York, you can look this up. The number 2 category for all people, domestic and international, is they spend money on electronics. Okay, that's the number 2 category. For international tourists, which is a massive amount of people, and really generally the main target audience, the number 1 category is art dealers and galleries. So people are in New York to spend money. One, everybody knows that. But if you really dig into it, they're spending their money on electronics and on art. So it's really not rocket science. We're just connecting the dots.
I like it. I see those dots coming together. You're right. It is what you make of it. And I think that for the individuals that are going to participate, I think that they will understand and see that vision and see the multiple ways that this is really going to help not only elevate themselves, but elevate the community as a whole. I think that that's something to probably also keep in mind is, how priced out, I know we're not going over any pricing or anything. So I'm going to be curious to see how that development occurs once those metrics really get revealed,
Yeah, and I appreciate you. I'm sorry we got to hop off. We just have a really stacked trip here in Times Square. But if you guys hop onto our Discord, we're going to shoot you a picture from Times Square here in about 10 minutes just to prove that we're real and we're here and this thing's a real deal. So we might even shoot you some. Now, I think tomorrow we got a shoot coming out with kind of our tours of some of those places we're looking at. So I think you'll enjoy watching that one too. And please, if you could, and if you do have passion behind this project, be a good community member because they get rewarded. That's how Corey and I really rose through cryptocurrencies. Just started by being great community members. So, and we know how valuable your guys' time is. So thank you for the hour. And we appreciate you.
Cheers. Thank you. You